Hi, Run Your Story family. This is Allison Gilliard with Run Your Story, where every story needs to be heard. And huge shout out to Women's Resource Center and their This Is Life 5K for fueling our friend Stacy Ring's run story this month. Super excited that we get to partner with such an incredible nonprofit like Women's Resource Center. They do so much for our local community. And guys, I know we have some people that are listening and they're not local. Definitely check them out in your own neighborhood, in your own community. And I highly suggest that you partner with them because they do so much more for our community than I can even begin to tell you about. They go anywhere from into the schools to talk to our children about healthy relationships and boundaries, and really, honestly, to dream big and think big. And what are we doing to make the world better? That is huge, absolutely amazing. And they do that in such a practical way. And I am so appreciative of what Women's Resource Center does there. They also have parenting classes, and I love that so much. And they do stuff for moms who are in crisis pregnancy situations or in situations that they're unable to help support. And so Women's Resource Center pools all these resources together. So they literally are the hands and feet of helping our neighbors. And I love that so much. And what's really cool is that so many people in our running community also support Women's Resource Center and what they do. And so you'll see when you go to our swag store that some people have said they want proceeds to go to Women's Resource Center. And so we love making those donations on behalf of our running community. And to all the runners that have done that, thank you so very much. And so we are super excited. We believe in Women's Resource Center. We believe in what they do for this community. And they stand in the gap for our neighbors and for our students and for families. And so, again, if you live out of town, definitely check them out in your local neighborhood and see how you can get involved and see how you can help. But for our community, I'd love to see you at This Is Life 5K. Also, feel free to go by and visit the Women's Resource Center. See how you can get plugged in. See how you can give back to the community. Maybe it's going in and talking to students. Maybe it's volunteering at the center. Maybe it's volunteering in the little store that they have. Whatever it is, find a way to get involved because they really are making our community better. And I absolutely love that. So thank you to the Women's Resource Center for believing in Run Your Story and for what you're doing, being the hands and feet and making our community better. I love that so very much. Speaking of making things better, you guys are gonna love Stacy Ring from Nebraska. How about that? So exciting. And guys, she is known as the Monument Marathon Lady. I love it. And she's known because not only has she ran every year the half for Monument Marathon, she just shares all these really cool stories about this race, but she has such a passion for it. It's like my level of Battleship 12K. Like, she loves this race. And it just shows. And it's for such a great cause in their community, supporting the community college there. They do a phenomenal job at Monument Marathon. And you're wondering, how did I even find Stacy Ring? That would be our friend Kimmy, who is on the podcast. Our friend Kimmy actually is one of the pacers through Elevated Pacing for Monument Marathon. So it's full circle, so stinking cool. And I absolutely love it. And you guys are going to love Stacy. She's amazing. She even sent me pictures of her shoe tower. It was so fun. And she's going to talk about that. Guys, if you're looking for a run in Nebraska, this would be the one for you. If you're looking for one of those 50 states, do it. It just sounds amazing. I'm not going to lie, you guys are going to hear me say in this podcast, I'll be there next year. And Gray was editing and he's like, okay, yeah, I guess we're going to Nebraska. So that is on our bucket list. We are really, really going to hope and see how we can make it work because that's how much Stacy, if somebody loves a run that much, I've got to go there. I've got to be a part of that. And so guys, we should do a road trip, right? Like, who's in? Let's do this. Guys, Stacy shares about strength and running and the resilience that all comes from running. It's built by one step at a time. Oh, and the joy and the journey, and what a journey Stacy has had. And she shares more about that in her story. And I am so incredibly thankful for Stacy, her outlook of running and community. And again, to love a run so much and it means so much, I think that speaks volumes. So guys, all I can say is lace up those running shoes, get ready, get set, and go run with my friend Stacy and her run story. Welcome, Stacy from Nebraska.
Hi, Allison. I'm excited to be here.
So excited for this. We'll give Kimmy a shout out for getting us connected. And she's already told me that she can't wait to hear your story come out. And I love just all the circles of when we meet somebody and then you get to meet someone else. And so I've already become a big fan of yours. And obviously, you're in Nebraska.
I am. I'm right in the middle of the country in Nebraska, where everybody thinks the whole land is flat here. But I'm lucky to live on the western part of the state where it's the more scenic, beautiful part. So
That, and also congratulations on being our first Nebraskan.
Thank you.
We've not had one, I don't think. So that's really exciting because you're going to have a different perspective, I'm sure, about running than I am. For the record, how is the weather right now, Stacy?
It has been very hot in Nebraska. Right now, we're in the middle of a cool down, so it's only supposed to get up to like 70 or 75 today. So I am personally ready for some cool weather because it gets very hot here in Nebraska in August.
But you guys don't have humidity, right?
No, we have more humidity on the eastern part of the state by Lincoln and Omaha. So,
wow, I would trade you in a heartbeat. Maybe I should just come. I'm just going to come to Nebraska one day and run. This is what I'm going to do.
Yes, you need to come join us here.
So, Stacy, I've only gotten to learn about you through Kimmy and through social media, which I'm very thankful for. So I have no idea what your story is, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know you. So, Stacy, what is your run story? How did you start hitting the pavement?
Well, it's funny because I was never supposed to be a runner, which is why my run story is so fun to tell. So if it hadn't happened, I would have missed out on countless amazing experiences and meeting such incredible people over the last couple of years. So growing up, I hated running. I went out for high school track, not because I liked running, but because I liked getting out of school for the day. So I stuck to non-running events like throwing discus, but at one meet, I didn't throw far enough to compete at the track meet. So they stuck me in the 1 mile relay with 3 other girls. So each of us that ran a leg had to run a quarter mile, 1 lap around the track. So for me, the quarter mile lap felt endless. And I thought, I'm going to die. Never in a million years did I think I'd someday run for fun or even pay to do it. So let's fast forward to maybe about 15 years later in 2012. I was working for an internet service provider in Scottsbluff, Nebraska, managing the billing department. And my coworker, Ron, who worked in sales and he worked right across from me, he got on a fitness kick and he bought a Fitbit. And this was about mid-September. And our town announced the new race that they were doing. It was called the Monument Marathon. And it was a fundraiser to raise money for scholarships and student emergency needs at Western Nebraska Community College. So Ron decided 3 weeks before the race to sign up for the half marathon. Whoa. He wasn't a runner either, but he asked me and another coworker to join him.
Stop!
And I was like, I think he's crazy. But I'd been exercising and I was in decent shape, so I figured, why not? I'll check it off my bucket list. Even though I never liked running before, I was like, I'll try it once. So our employer sponsored the 3 of us, and all 3 of us did the race, and we finished. My first Monument Marathon was absolutely brutal. The first year they had it was in mid-October, which the years after that, they ended up moving it to the last Saturday in September, thankfully. But the first one was every weather element that you could be in. I had wind, I had rain, I had snow flurries. It was cold. And I knew nothing about doing a half marathon or distance running or anything. So I wore pants, I wore a t-shirt, I wore a long sleeve pullover, I wore a windbreaker and a rain poncho. Plus I had a fanny pack stuffed with snacks like I was crossing the Sahara Desert. So I had all this stuff with me, all these layers and everything, because I am always cold. I hate being cold. And I was overdressed, but I finished just 1 minute ahead of my goal time. And I thought afterwards, I was like, this is really crazy, but I want to do this again, but actually train for it.
Wow.
And that's how my journey with the Monument Marathon began.
I'm impressed because I'm listening to this. I'm like, okay, you said 3 weeks.
Yes, 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks to run a half.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that much running happened, but I did make it to the end. That was my only goal, was to make it to the finish line.
Wow. I'm impressed that you kept you finish and then you go, you know what? This was fun. Like, even though you were overdressed, even though you had a fanny pack full of snacks. I love that so much. But that you were like, because I could see more often than not the going, I am never doing this again.
Yeah.
But you took it the other way.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised I kept doing it because, like I said, the worst weather that I have had for the Monument Marathon, this will be my 14th year participating in the event next month. That was the worst weather I ever participated in, was the first year. And if I could go back, I'm not sure that I would still be doing it today. But I don't know. Something told me I'm going to kind of stick with this and see where it goes. So that's what I kind of love. I love telling my story, how I got involved with the Monument Marathon.
That's incredible. I'm sitting here just going, I'm just in awe. Like, that is absolutely bonkers. And yeah, also impressive at the same time.
Well, thank you.
Wow. So have you done other races besides the Monument Marathon?
I have done some other local races. I have done the United Way here, did a color dash. I did that for several years. That was just a 5K. Western Nebraska Community College also used to do a fall frolic, which they got rid of after they started putting more time and energy into doing the Monument Marathon, which again, it raises money for our students at the college. And I've also done the Festival of Hope Run, which raises money for cancer patients here. So I've done a lot of local races, but I need to venture off and do some out of state. So I'd like to do that eventually when time permits. But life is so busy that I just stick here in Nebraska for now. But I've still gotten to do a lot of great races. And the great thing about the Monument Marathon is just the people I get to meet every year. I've met people from all over, and many have done 50 states. And I just love the friendships that I've made doing the Monument Marathon.
Absolutely. So you said that you did the half. Have you went on to done the full? Or are you like, I'm good at the half?
No, I'm good with the half. I always say I'm only half crazy.
That's right.
One guy that I worked with, and coincidentally, we also went to high school together. He actually did the full 1 year for the Monument Marathon, and he trained all year. And bless his heart, he made it to the end. But I know for a fact that my body could not do a full marathon. So everybody has asked me every year, are you going to do a full marathon? And the answer is no, I am never, ever going to do a full marathon. You need to dedicate a lot of time and a lot of training to that. And I am not that girl.
Well, geez, in 3 weeks, you ran a half and you just kept going, Stacy. So
yes, but I cannot run 2 halves back to back. No, we'll stop there with that.
Love that. So there had to have been some lessons that you've learned from running.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would say running has taught me more about strength and resilience more than I've ever imagined. So in 2008, I was diagnosed with a form of inflammatory bowel disease called ulcerative colitis. And for years, I was constantly sick. Nothing kept me in remission. So my doctor would usually put me on high doses of prednisone just to keep the disease at bay. And so I gained 40 pounds. I struggled with joint pain. I felt like my health was slipping away. So in 2012, I decided to take control. I started exercising, I lost the weight, and I discovered something incredible. That movement actually eased my joint pain. So when I began running, all that pain disappeared, and it never really has returned. So training for a half marathon kind of gave me a goal to chase and a reason to keep moving all year long. And running became more than an exercise. It became proof that I could take my health back, push through discomfort, show up for myself no matter what. Every finish line is a reminder that I'm stronger than my diagnosis, and resilience is built one step at a time. And running has also taught me that I can go on much longer than I think I can. And some days will be better than others, but as long as you keep moving forward, you're going to become stronger for it.
Oh, that is beautiful. Oh, I love that you said that resilience is built one step at a time.
It truly is.
Oh, that's a great reminder. So I'm going to assume I know what your favorite race is, but why don't you just go ahead and tell me?
Yeah, my favorite race in the world will always be the Monument Marathon. And anybody that knows me knows how much the event truly means to me. I am an alum of WNCC, Western Nebraska Community College. And I love everything about the race. I love that it raises money for our students. I love that it teaches our community to do something healthy for themselves. I love that it brings travelers from all over the country and sometimes outside of the country to our region here, because most people aren't going to be like, I want to go to Nebraska. What do I want to go to Nebraska for? So I started the Monument Marathon, like I said, in 2012. And by 2021, after years of long distance running, my injuries were starting to catch up with me. So I had quietly decided that the 10th Monument Marathon would be my last half marathon. And it was a fitting finale to a chapter that had shaped a lot of my life. And that year that I ran, it felt electric. Only a handful of us had run every race since the beginning of the Monument Marathon in 2012. And we were honored in the 10th year with running jackets.
Oh, wow.
And crossing that finish line, knowing that I kept the streak alive for a full decade, it brought me to tears. It was the first time I ever cried going across the finish line. Because for me, it wasn't just the miles. It was the friendship. It was the strength I had gotten doing the race every year and just memories packed into that. And for me, I thought 10 years was the perfect ending. But when registration for year 11 opened, I couldn't walk away. I still loved the challenge. I still loved the energy of race day and the community. And I kept signing up. And now 2025 is going to be my 14th Monument Marathon. So in 2022, my career took an unexpected turn. I was laid off of my job that I had for like 15 and a half years. So 2 weeks later, I actually landed a position at Western Nebraska Community College, and I started in workforce development and lifelong learning. And by chance, or I might say fate, where my department was located was right next door to the WNCC Foundation. So they are the team behind the Monument Marathon. And I was just over the moon. I was like, oh man, I need to join some race committee. I need to get involved with this. There's something I need to do because I just love this event so much. So in 2023, I started managing the race's social media. So I managed our Instagram account and our Facebook account. And I loved seeing that excitement online and hearing from people who were training and cheering or joining for the first time. And later that year, I joined the race crew. And I attended planning meetings, brainstorming improvements for the race, and sometimes laughing through the chaos of all the logistics of the race, because it really takes a village to put on a marathon.
Absolutely.
But for me, one of my favorite moments was just helping with the social media and getting to know other runners. I would ask people to submit their stories with the Monument Marathon if they were a past participant, what made them love the race, and just all that good stuff like that. And it was just so fun. So in June of this year, 2025, a position opened up in the foundation and I applied for it. And after I got done with my interview, I'm like, I think I bombed the whole thing. I felt like I was losing my train of thought during questions and I was going, I was like, oh man, I must have sounded like such an idiot. But I got the job. And I was just over the moon. Working here at the foundation has felt like home. My team has such passion and dedication, and that mirrors my own. And being part of the people who bring the Monument Marathon to life has been incredibly rewarding. So this year, I also retired from the half marathon because I have to work on race day. And my body is grateful for the break, but my heart still wants to run. So thanks to our amazing race director, my boss, Jennifer Reisig, I am still running the 5K. And I will still get to cross the finish line that I love. And another wonderful thing about this summer was just 1 month after starting my work here at the foundation, my disease, ulcerative colitis, finally went into remission after 17 years.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
man.
you. So for me, for the first time in nearly 2 decades, it just felt like my health and my work and my purpose were all finally aligned. And I just have to give another shout out to the Monument Marathon because to me, it's not just a race. It's a lifeline for our students here. It's a celebration of our community. And it's proof that your heart can carry you farther than you ever imagined. And it's given me friendships, strength, healing, and purpose. And I'll keep showing up for it as long as I can.
I am so glad we're not videoing this because I'm getting emotional over here.
Oh.
Like, that is just beautiful. And I love how you were like, your heart can just carry you further. And all of this just kept going. And I think it's what somebody has said before in this podcast. And that is that runners are resilient. And so when it comes to, we don't just put it on the pavement, but in life. And so you didn't let your disease stop you. You were like, I have to run through this. I have to keep going. And now here you are getting to celebrate being in remission. That's huge.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a long, hard road to get to here. But like I said, it just seems like everything this summer just finally aligned, and it's the greatest feeling.
That is beautiful. I love that. So I want to switch a little bit. Normally I ask what the pre-race routine is, but since you are helping with this monumental marathon, which is literally monumental.
Yes.
What does the pre-race routine look like for race day, for like even logistics, for setting up like night before? Because I'm assuming there's also packet pickup and all these things. So what does it look like for the crew that makes the magic happen?
So we will have an expo at the Geary, Nebraska Civic Center on September 26th. That is the day before the race. And we like to get a whole bunch of vendors, local vendors. Sometimes people come from out of town, and a lot of them have running supplies or can tape you up for the race, can give you a medical advice, just a whole mix of a lot of things. So at the expo, our runners can go ahead and pick up their race bags with their t-shirts and their timing bib and other goodies that are thrown in there. But really, what I've learned from even when I worked outside of the foundation is that planning to put on the marathon every year, it is a year-long process.
Sure.
So there's different steps that we have to do throughout the year. And like I said, I joined about 3 months before the race. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the process starts from start to finish after we finish the race in September to next September, which will be our 15th year. I'm looking forward to just learning about everything that goes on to put on the event. Now, my team members would say that putting on the marathon is chaotic, it's stressful, but I still have the newbie eyes of like, I'm so excited to do this. I can't wait. I don't care whatever you want me to do. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to do this. It's such a great cause. It's just such a great event. It's so special to me. And I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot more things as race week gets going here. We are 5 weeks away from race day as of tomorrow. So race day is September 27th. And we are actually trending high in registration so far this year. Last year, we broke our registration record. I'm hoping that happens again, because this is just such a great cause for our students, our community. And I just love all of the people that I get to meet at the expo every year. That's why the expo is a favorite part of mine. Just meeting people from all over. I met a man 2 years ago, and I can't remember his name, and unfortunately, but he sat with me and another friend of mine that has done the marathon for a couple of years. And he had done all 50 states, and he actually showed us, he had a whole closet full of his race medals, or a room dedicated to it. And he was showing us all these neat medals, and he's like, I'm doing this again. I'm going through the 50 states again. And I just loved listening to him. I just loved seeing all the different medals from all over the country. That's why I need to get out of Nebraska, and I need to go do some other races. Because the medals are just so fun. They're just so neat. I was like, how many Nebraska medals do I need to start my collection, getting a few different things going, but just meeting the people is just amazing. That I just love listening to everybody's run stories, because we all have a run story, and everybody is just fabulous that we get to meet every year.
I absolutely love that. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm putting you guys down for next year for the 15th year. I'm going to see if I can talk my husband to let me come to Nebraska.
Yeah, you'd love it. We'd love to have you in Nebraska. Tell
It
all your
sounds
friends.
absolutely amazing.
It is. It's a lot of people are like, Nebraska, what's out there? Cornfields and nothing. So yeah, if you drive, we have Interstate 80 that kind of goes across the state. And I'm not going to lie, it's a boring drive to get to the bigger cities like Lincoln or Omaha. And there's nothing in the middle of the state. But here on the western part, it is so beautiful. We have the Wildcat Hills. We have Scottsbluff National Monument. We just have a whole other world out here, and it is such a beautiful hidden treasure in Nebraska. And that's why I would highly encourage everybody to come and check it out.
I love that. Oh, that's so exciting. I love hearing the passion about it. And I think that's what gets runners so excited, is to be like, well, I haven't thought about that. But now, hopefully, if somebody's listening and they're either going for 50 states or they've questioned whether or not they want to run in Nebraska, well, here's your reason. Like,
Yeah,
go run this
absolutely.
race. Yeah. So for you, I would like to know, what is your favorite running item?
My favorite running item, I would say, is my iPod. So
Ooh, okay.
I absolutely must run with music. My brain needs the escape from the elements and the pain or whatever's going on at the time. And music keeps me focused and motivated to keep going. So for me, there is nothing worse than when your music dies before the end of the race. Sometimes that has happened to me, and it seems like time lasts forever to make it through, but I still manage to get it done. So I always try and make sure that I have my music, because without it, it's a miserable experience to me. I need that escape so I forget what I'm doing. But yeah, for me, it'd be my iPods, definitely.
Okay. So what is your running jams?
My running jams, I would say, well, I grew up in the 80s. So I would say I have to listen to some kind of 80s music. So whether that's Michael Jackson or Whitney Houston or Cyndi Lauper, I need something that gets me going and keeps me motivated to keep running, because there are just some days I'm like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? But if I have a good song on, I can keep going forever, because I'm just motivated to keep going. Then I get the runner's high and I'm like, okay, I'm glad I came out today and did this. So yeah, I would say 80s music is my running jam.
Yeah, you like this poppin'?
Yes.
This poppin', yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What are your favorite running shoes?
My favorite running shoes, I would say I'm an Asics girl through and through.
Oh,
on race
yes.
day.
Okay.
So what I would usually run in for the half marathon would be my trusty gel Nimbus. So the gel Nimbus is basically my running soulmate. I
love that.
pun intended, because anybody that knows me knows that I love puns. So
that was great.
Truly, the gel Nimbus is my running soulmate. I've stuck with them for years because they support me like a champ. But here's the deal. If they're not in a bright, flashy color, then they're just not my vibe. So I am all about fun shoes. I cannot run in white or black shoes. I have to have fun, vibrant, loud colors. And at one point, I probably owned about 40 to 50 pairs of running shoes.
Wow. Yeah.
So
you go, girl.
No judgment, please.
No, I encourage it. I
think I'm in the right place for that.
I worked it.
I did clean house last year, and I did get rid of some of my running shoes, but I still probably have about 25 pairs that I rotate through. They're all like loud, flashy colors, and some might say that I have a running shoe addiction, which I do, but I call it be prepared, because if I don't have a good shoe that's comfortable and fun looking and goes with my running outfit for race day, then I don't want it.
That is great.
Yeah.
Listen, and I am here for it. I encourage it. I think also, too, what I love, especially like you said, running soulmate, that's probably like one of the best things I've ever heard, is that those shoes went on the journey with you. And so it is hard to get rid of your running shoes. Like when they're done and you're like, okay, well, I've literally like worn this. Even when they're yard shoes, you still remember the races that are the training runs that you went on, the finish lines that you crossed. You're like, man,
Yes.
those were some good memories.
Yes. I will tell you how bad it was. So I ran one year in these probably bright orange and mint green gel Nimbus shoes, and I absolutely loved them. I loved them. So a couple of years later, I actually ran another race in the same shoes, and then last year when I got rid of all my shoes, I was like, these have been so well loved, but I have to part ways with them. And then I threw them out, and I'm like, oh man, I wish I'd kept those shoes. So I went and found them on, I forgot the name of it, one of those places where they sell shoes, just kind of everything, whatever you want to do. The name is escaping me at the moment. But anyway, I found my shoes on there, and I wear a size 6 shoe. And you know how hard it is to find a size 6 shoe when I have such small feet? It's hard. But there it was. It was my orange shoe in a size 6. And I was like, I am pressing order, and I am ordering. I'm having that person send me their shoes. So I got my shoes back in the mail again. And I was so happy to be reunited with my orange shoes, which they were probably like 8 to 10 years old. And I was like, I'm not going to find another pair like this in this shade. It's the same year that they came out or anything in pristine condition, but I did. So now those shoes are back with my other running soulmates. And I'm so excited to run in them again. So I don't know if I'll wear them this year, but I was just excited that I found that pair again after my other ones were in rough shape.
Wow. That is a crazy story.
It was meant to be.
Again, pun intended.
Yes.
Love that.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. When you are running your halves, how do you fuel for your long runs? Do you take anything with you?
So I actually think that running gels are disgusting. So on race day, I don't stop at any of the stations to take any run gels or anything. I think they're gross, they're sticky, they're weirdly textured, and honestly, that'll make me gag. So instead, what I do is I like to snack on gummy bears or Swedish fish while I run. So they're sweet, they're easy to eat, and they're way less icky than those gooey packets. So plus it feels like I'm sneaking in some candy on the run, which technically I am. So that makes everything better. So yeah, if anybody's out there is tired of gels making you cringe, grab some gummy bears or some Swedish fish and treat yourself and your taste buds and probably your stomach. Well, thank you.
My friend Rebecca from Louisiana, she loves gummy bears. She loves gummy bears. Like for her ultras, for any race distance, she will open the bag, open her mouth, and just pour them in.
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
I love gummy bears too. I love gummy bears, cinnamon bears. If it's a bear, I'm probably going to eat it, except if it was a real bear. I don't do real bear meat.
Don't do real, okay.
But if it's gummy, I will eat it, probably.
Oh my goodness. Do you have a favorite meal, like when you are getting ready to cross the finish line, that you're like, I cannot wait to eat this?
I would say yes. I would say I would like to go out to a place here in Nebraska called Runza, and they make cabbage burgers that everybody raves about all over the state and the adjoining states that kind of have it. So no, I don't eat a cabbage burger. I think cabbage burgers are gross, actually. But Runza makes a great big cheeseburger. So I would say after a race, I just want to eat a big cheeseburger and some fries. And that kind of satisfies me after a long couple of hours on the race course.
Stacy, not to take place of your run shoes, but I feel like we could be soulmates. Like we could definitely celebrate after a race. I'm just like, my jam. The cabbage burger, that's new. Like I've never heard that before. So, okay.
Well,
interesting.
If you come to Nebraska, you're going to have to try
a
cabbage burger, which here they're not referred to as cabbage burgers. They're just called Runzas. So you'll have to try one.
Interesting. This would be like a couple of days after the race, right? Because like I'm...
Whatever you want to do.
Okay.
It's all good. And just to give a shout out to Runza, they are actually, I think they're one of our friends at the Monument Marathon, which is a different kind of sponsor that we have. But they are fantastic. And they have joined us for many years, and their food is also very good.
Yeah. I'm wanting a cheeseburger and fries right now, girl.
Yeah.
So I love that. Let's go.
Yes.
So let's switch a little bit to recovery. Do you have a favorite recovery tool, or how do you like to recover after a training run or after a race?
So my favorite recovery tool is not a tool at all. It's my favorite person on race day, which is my massage therapist, Jessica Hyde. Jessica has gotten me through probably 11 Monument Marathons, and she is absolutely incredible. She owns her own business called Orenda, and they are local here in Scottsbluff, Nebraska, which is the adjoining town to Gearing, where the race is. And she always makes me feel, honestly, absolutely horrid for the day after race day, because she really gets into that deep tissue massage. She uses cupping on me, so I look like a bad game of Twister or a pepperoni pizza after the race. But I know the day after is going to be absolutely horrible, but in the days after that, I just feel so much better getting a massage. And I honestly think that massage therapy is a must, and it is one of the best things that you can do for yourself after a great race day.
That's good. Oh, that's really good. Do you have a favorite cross-training activity?
I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it is a must as we get older. And that is strength training.
Yes, girl.
I have started on the strength training journey several times, and I've also gotten off that journey. Right now is one of those times that I've gotten off the journey again, but I need to get back on it. I have noticed in many races, parts of my body that lack strength and get weak. And strength training is just really important to incorporate into your routine. Just running is not enough if you don't have strong arms and legs behind all the training that you put in. So I would highly advocate strength training, even though I constantly fall off the wagon to strength training.
Yeah, girl. Love it.
Lifting heavy things is not always my favorite thing to do, but as I get older, I really need to get back into that routine again.
So good. What advice would you give to somebody who wants to start running, or if they want to come run your race? Like, what is a piece of advice you'd give them?
I would say if you want to get into running, sign up for a race. Sign up for a race. So if you have something to train for all year round that really helps keep you motivated to keep working out. So I highly recommend signing up for a half marathon because I feel that a 5K is too easy for a lot of people, even if they're just starting out and running. But a full marathon is a really full load to do if people really want to get in shape for anything. So the nice thing about doing a half is you still get that training all year round, but you also get to challenge yourself and grow with that. Another thing I would recommend would be to get a running buddy. Somebody that can hold you accountable, get you out there on the days that you don't want to go out and run or do anything. I've had a lot of running buddies over the years and workout buddies. And one of my favorite ones is my good friend, Maria Chavez. And Maria will be doing her 3rd Monument Marathon this year. And sometimes both she and I just lack motivation to go out and train for race day. It's like, I've been busy, I'm tired, we're older, we don't want to do anything. But I think if you have somebody cheering you on and encouraging you to get out there and do something, you're more likely to stick with it. So definitely get a running buddy. That's going to help you stick with things and help you go from there.
That is such great advice. One of my dearest friends, Katie, she joined the gym that I work out at. And so sometimes I'll get a text the night before and she's like, all right, 5:30 a.m. class. And I'm like, oh, no. But I'm going to go because Katie's there. And she's been such a great accountability partner, helping me stay consistent in the gym, but also on the pavement. Like, we did this training program over the summer and she would text me. She'd be like, hey, I got my run in. I got my training run in. I'm like, well, I can't let Katie down. I have to go. So even if when I didn't really care about me, I was like, my partner needs me to get it together.
Yes. And another thing is there's going to be days where quitting feels like the easiest option, even if you don't have a running buddy. But those are the moments that you build your strength. I've had my share of bad days and incredible ones too. And that's just all part of growing, not just as a runner, but as a person. Absolutely. And sometimes you have to get uncomfortable to see just how strong you really are. And I guess another piece of advice I would say is share your journey. Yes. There will be people who are sick of hearing about your running or your races. I have learned over the years, but there are so many people that are out there just like you that end up loving running. And some of the greatest people I had met in my running journey was at last year's Monument Marathon. And it was the first year that we added pacers to our lineup. And after the race, people raved about them, and they are coming back this year, and they are elevated running and pacing. And got to give a shout out to my buddies at Elevated. I met the most incredible people there, especially 2 who stick out in my mind, and I'm proud to call friends. One was Floyd Crawford, who is also returning to Nebraska this year because he was just raved about so much last year. Floyd is pacing our 3-hour half marathon. And he is just such a down-to-earth and friendly guy. He's so positive, and he's just such a great person. And I can't wait to see him in 5 weeks. And then there is Miss Kimmy. I mean, Kimmy, I love Kimmy. Kimmy is a whole vibe. And
yes.
I just love that about her. And coincidentally, so when I was doing, which I still do, the social media for the Monument Marathon, the race director just sent an email out to me, and she sent an email out to Kimmy at Elevated, and she says, this is Kimmy, this is Stacy, you guys work together to get whatever you want out on social media about the race. And that was in April of 2024. So Kimmy and I don't know, there was just something about her, even though I didn't technically meet her until Expo Day of 2024. Wow. But I remember getting to the expo that afternoon, and I had volunteered about 2 hours to do some social media at the expo. And one of the gals in the foundation at the time, she says, the Pacers have been asking about you. The Pacers have been asking about you. They really want to see you. And I was looking all over the big room through all the vendors. I was like, where's the Pacers? I was like, I can't wait to meet them. And I met Kimmy in person, and I met Floyd, and I met Emmy. And they are such an incredible group. But Kimmy truly is a whole vibe. She is just a vibrant soul. She's so positive. Yes. She's so fun. She's so passionate about pacing. And she actually ran with me to the finish line last year during one of the hottest half marathons I have ever done. And her enthusiasm is just contagious. And honestly, we talk nearly every day on Facebook or an email. And I can't wait to see her big smile. And her entire group is just so inspiring and my kind of people. And I can't say enough about Elevated and how wonderful they have been to work with for the last 2 years. And this year they are bringing 10 pacers.
Wow.
To pace the half marathon and the full marathon. And they also have a floater pacer with that group. And there's some familiar faces coming back, but I'm also looking forward to meeting the different people that she has lined up, because she sends me all of the pacer bios that we actually feature on our social media. So people can get to know who they want to run with. And they're just such a great group. And I just love them. I can't say enough great things about them and how great they are to work with and know.
Yeah, I love that. And that gets me so excited, because knowing Kimmy's heart and her passion for running, and then hearing your passion for running and for this race, that's going to be one amazing race. Let me just say, like, wow, like I have serious FOMO right now.
Yes, you need to come join us next year.
Is amazing. Like, just the excitement and the passion. And then, like you said, with Elevated pacing, they truly care. And there's such a standard that they have there for their pacers. And that, I think, speaks a lot to their character and integrity and wanting to keep the main thing. And it's not about the pacer. It's about those that they're pacing and their stories and getting them across the finish line. And I think that's the beauty of it. That's what matters to Elevated running. And that speaks volumes.
Yep. And what I really loved about Elevated was when all of their pacers got done, no matter what time they came in at, and they got done pacing, they stuck around at the finish line and they were cheering people on and talking to runners after the race. And I just loved that personal aspect that they gave to the whole experience. And I think that's a big part of why they had such rave reviews after the marathon. And that's why we're so looking forward to working with them when they come back this year.
That is so exciting. Oh, I love that. Let's talk about goals that you have. Do you have any other running goals?
Goals. Oh my goodness. I would say these days, my goal really isn't about chasing a certain time anymore. For me, it's about staying connected to the Monument Marathon for as long as I can and sharing how much I love this race. Because honestly, it means so much to me, not just for me, but for our students at Western Nebraska Community College who benefit from the funds that are raised by it, the community that supports it, and how special it is to have a race like this here in Nebraska. Like I said, I know a lot of people think Nebraska is flat and boring, but it's definitely not the case where I live in Western Nebraska. The race is tough. It's beautiful. It's full of amazing people, from our volunteers to our runners to our sponsors, that make it really feel like something special. And I would just like to give a shout out to our title sponsor, which is Platte Valley Companies. They have been our title sponsor every year for the last 14 years. And the difference that they have made in this event is, it's just awesome. It's just awesome. Not only them, but our aid station sponsors, our Friends of the Monument Marathon, our healthcare sponsors, everybody just comes together and they put on an amazing event. And we can't do that without all of these fantastic people in the background.
Oh, it takes a village to put on a marathon.
It does.
And it's so phenomenal like that. I can never thank race directors enough or companies enough that they get up at before the butt crack of dawn to get that finish line started, to get the start line and put out the signs and close the road. There's a lot of, as you said, there's a lot of logistics that it takes a year. You got to get city approval. You got to get the police. There's so much that people don't realize that go into races, and not everything's going to be perfect. Every race director would love for it to be perfect, just like you would love to have perfect weather. But you cannot control that.
No, we can't. We can't. I'm hoping this year that it's not as hot as last year was. But I also don't want the flurries and the wind and the rain like the first year that I did it. But also, again, just to give a shout out to our amazing race director, my boss, Jennifer Reisig. Jennifer has been with the marathon, I believe, since 2018, and she is so passionate about this event, as she does such a great job keeping everybody on track and organized. And she's also the executive director for the WNCC Foundation. And she's so passionate about her work and so dedicated and such an awesome person to know and work for. And I am so blessed to work with somebody that is so passionate about this event as I am.
That's amazing. I love that. When life gets hard or a run gets hard, do you have a mantra? Do you have something that you tell yourself? You've already dropped some wild nuggets of wisdom here. But is there something that you're like, okay, refocus. Let's get done what we need to get done?
Yeah. I would say my mantra is just to find joy in the journey. I try to find joy in every step that I take, whether I'm running a race or just dealing with whatever life throws my way. Life kind of feels like a long, twisty trail with ups and downs. There's going to be sunny days. There's going to be storms you never expect. And it's easy to only look at the finish line per se. But what really matters is what happens along the way and the struggles that make you stronger, the little wins that lift you up, those moments when I just keep going even though I want to quit. Finding joy in the journey, that's what makes it all worthwhile for me. So running has also taught me that it's not about how fast I get there, but about really living each moment. And that lesson has helped me face whatever's next with hope and just knowing that every step forward brings me closer to something better.
That is absolutely beautiful. Oh my goodness. Oh. All right, Stacy, when you're not running, what are you passionate about? What fuels you? Besides your job, okay?
Yes.
You are very passionate about your job.
Yes,
I love that.
Yes, I am. What I love the most is probably grabbing a friend and heading out to explore, camera in hand. For me, photography holds a very special place in my heart. I actually feature a lot of my photography of the area and of the race course on our social media. And I love just enjoying and capturing the beautiful landscapes around my hometown, which of course includes many spots along the race course. My workout buddy, Maria, is always up for an adventure, and we have so much fun wandering and discovering new places around. And like I said, this year Maria will be running her third Monument Marathon. She'll be doing the half for the third year, and I couldn't be prouder or more grateful for her friendship. And when I'm not out exploring, I cherish time spent in my garden. I love flowers and growing a garden. I love spending time with my pets, and I love being surrounded by the people that I love.
That is beautiful. Stacy, this has been so much fun. I have enjoyed getting to know you, and I'm telling you, I wrote it down, 15th year next year for Monumental Marathon. Like, it just sounds amazing. Like, just, and again, the passion that you bring, the passion that Elevated brings and their pacers, and as the community comes together to host this marathon, like, you can't help but be like, man, I really want to go to Nebraska and run. Like, that sounds phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, so much fun.
People need to choose us for their Nebraska race. There's other races in Nebraska, but they're in flat places. And we want to show you what Nebraska has to offer out west. And it's incredible. The scenes out here are absolutely beautiful. And what we like to say is actually our race is historic because it is part of the actual Oregon Trail. So
what?
Yes, it's actually part of the Oregon Trail that people went through in the 1800s. And there's many stories about Scottsbluff National Monument and people that went through there and everything. And the history here is just fantastic. So it's another kind of fun element about the race. And I highly encourage people to visit our little museum, which is actually part of the race course that people will go by as they go by the monument. And it's called A Legacy of the Plains. And it has a lot of historic information about the area and the Oregon Trail and just different things in our region that are fun to share.
Oh, Stacy, absolutely amazing. Thank you for your time. And I just want to know, do you have any final words of wisdom?
If there's one thing that I could say that I truly learned through running, it is to trust the process. So even on those days when it feels like nothing is happening, like you're not getting faster, you're not getting stronger, you don't think you can make a certain time, sometimes just trusting the process is a big part of that. And it doesn't mean that the process is not processing. Sometimes progress is quiet and it's slow, but it's still there and it's still growing beneath the surface. So those hard moments, the doubts, the discomfort, they're all part of shaping who we are becoming. So I guess whatever path you're on, keep showing up for yourself, find joy in the little steps and hold on to hope that every bit of effort is moving you forward, because it really is, even if you can't see it yet.
Oh, Stacy, so good. So much wisdom and nuggets of knowledge. And again, I highly encourage anybody, even though I haven't been, it's again, great who's editing. I hope you're listening to this, which you are, because you're editing the podcast, that we're going to Nebraska next year. I'm like, we're going to go run this. So Stacy, it has been such an honor to meet you and the passion that you have for this race. And I cannot wait to hear more about it, like after you guys cross the finish line for that.
Yes, we're looking forward to it. Again, it's on September 27th. People can still register online until September 25th. And if they happen to be in Nebraska, you can also register at our expo, which is September 26th. We have no race day registration, but again, we're trending for hopefully another record-breaking year to make a difference for our WNCC students. So we're so excited.
Guys, Stacy brought it, didn't she? Oh my goodness. From trusting the process to how you have to get uncomfortable to see how strong you are. Just amazing. And I love you, Stacy. I am so excited for you. I hope that you guys have a phenomenal run this year, and I can't wait to celebrate. Hopefully, we hope to be there for the 15th anniversary. That would be super cool. And again, very incredible, Kimmy and her heart for this running community to get us connected. And I just love it. That's what I love about this community, is how everyone just wants to connect. And that's beauty. Like, our first Nebraskian that we got to interview. How cool is this that Runner Story Podcast is now in Nebraska? That's crazy. And so it's just a real joy to be able to hear someone's story that I would have never met, and to hear her journey. And again, all the nuggets of knowledge that she just laid down was phenomenal. Absolutely incredible. And again, Stacy, thank you for your heart. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for becoming the Monument Marathon lady. I love that so much. And for all that you're doing. And you definitely have a real passion for the running community and for this race. So thank you very much for that and for sharing your story. And again, congratulations on the remission. Congratulations on having such a beautiful heart, like just absolutely gorgeous. And so I'm incredibly thankful for you, my friend. And again, thankful to my friend Kimmy, who has just been a plethora of knowledge and wisdom with people. And I'm so incredibly grateful for that. Again, thank you so much to Women's Resource Center. Guys, we love Women's Resource Center. And if you are a volunteer or you work there or you're a client there, all I can say is thank you. Thank you for being part of such an incredible organization that gives so much to our community. They really are the unsung heroes, and they go unnoticed. And they are phenomenal. So one way that we get to show up and support them is This Is Life 5K. We are so honored to be partnering with This Is Life 5K. And so we'd love to see you guys, which same day as Monument Marathon. So would love to see you guys out, and would love to be come be a part of this story and be a part of many others, because that's what the Women's Resource Center is. They're there to walk through every chapter of your life. And so we're incredibly thankful for this organization that does so much for the running community. And as always, huge shout out to the man himself, Greg Gilliard from Gilliard Tech Services. Guys, if you have been sitting on an idea for a website, check him out. He is the man, and I am always impressed by what he's doing. And as we speak right now, he is building more websites. And so he stays busy, but he always makes time for people, and he pours so much into the running community. So if you have a website that you're wanting to be built, definitely reach out to him. He is your go-to. Love and adore him, not just because of what he does for Runner Story and for me personally, but because he pours so much of his heart and soul into the running community, and he gives so much to that. So thank you, Greg Gilliard from Gilliard Tech Services. Guys, go check him out on social media. You can also find him on our website at runnerstory.com. And thank you to our Patreon family members. You guys, I say it every week and I mean it wholeheartedly. You guys are the backbone of Runner Story, and you're what keeps us going. And so thank you for believing in us. Thank you for sharing the stories. Thank you for pouring into us. Thank you for taking up the financial burden. One day we hope that we get more Patreon supporters and we're able to maybe just do this full time. That'd be amazing, because that would be more stories I get to share. So We would love that. That's one of our goals that we have. And so we are just incredibly thankful that we have a community that supports us the way that they do. So thank you to our Patreon family members. Guys, if you want to join, go to runnerstory.com. You can find out more information there. Guys, I just cannot tell you thank you enough. Make sure that you like, share, and comment, because that's how these stories get shared. We love you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for buying the swag at the Run Your Story store. Guys, we just love you so very much. So until next time, lace up those running shoes and go run your story, because every story needs to be heard.